Hello, and welcome back to Start Smart with Heart. This podcast is about asset literacy, leadership, and building systems that support long-term stability for individuals, families, and communities. In our last episode, we talked about building assets intentionally and how important it is to start with clarity and purpose. Today, we're going to talk about something that can either support that process or completely derail it: the difference between opportunities and distractions. Because not everything that looks like an opportunity actually moves you forward, and learning to tell the difference is a critical skill.
Why everything can feel like an opportunity. In today's world, there is no shortage of information or options. People are constantly presented with new ideas, new ventures, new investments, and new ways to make money. This can create a sense that opportunity is everywhere, and in many ways it is, but not every opportunity is the right opportunity. Some options may look appealing in the short term but don't align with long-term goals. Others may require time, energy, or resources that take away from more important priorities. Without clarity, it becomes easy to say yes too often, and when everything becomes a priority, focus is lost. Now, the cost of distractions. Distractions are not always obvious. They don't always look negative. In fact, many distractions look productive. They may feel like progress, but over time, they can pull attention away from what truly matters. Distractions can cost time, energy, focus, and sometimes financial resources. For example, starting multiple projects without finishing them, taking on commitments without clear purpose, pursuing ideas that don't align with long-term goals. These patterns can slow progress, and they can make it more difficult to build stability. Recognizing distractions is not about limiting possibilities, it's about protecting focus. So, how to evaluate opportunities? Well, one of the most important skills is learning how to evaluate these opportunities. This does not require perfect knowledge, it requires thoughtful questions. Before saying yes, consider: does this align with my long-term goals? Do I understand how this works? What are the risks? What will this require from me in time and energy? Will this move me forward or pull me in a different direction? These questions create clarity. They help separate real opportunities from distractions, and they support better decision making over time. So stay focused on what matters, because focus is one of the most valuable resources we have. You heard me. Focus is one of the most valuable resources we have. When focus is clear, decisions become easier. When focus is scattered, everything feels uncertain. So staying focused means knowing your priorities, understanding your goals, and being willing to say no when something does not align. Saying no is not about missing out. It is about protecting what matters most, because progress happens when energy is directed consistently toward meaningful goals. Now, before we close, I want to share a short piece of wisdom with you today. Proverbs chapter 4, verses 25 through 27. Let your eyes look straight ahead. Fix your gaze directly before you. Give careful thought to the paths for your feet, and be steadfast in all your ways. Do not turn to the right or the left. Keep your foot from evil. This reminds us to stay focused, intentional, and steady, to avoid being pulled into too many directions, and to move forward with clarity. Now, thank you for joining me for another episode of Start Smart with Heart. Now, if this episode helped you think differently about opportunities and distractions, consider sharing it with someone who might benefit from the message. So next time, we'll begin pulling everything together and talk about how to create a simple, sustainable plan for long-term stability. Until then, start smart and lead with heart.